You're knowing distraction at an entirely new level, more than you ever imagined, as you are working from home today. I'm Janet Harvey, CEO of inviteCHANGE, and I've been running a virtual company since 1996. I'm going to share 3 ideas with you about how to get some relief and restore your sense of focus. I will also provide you with 3 simple questions to fuel your power of choice. So stay tuned for that too. Our human brains love habit. And when we're disrupted, it usually creates some not so good feelings. A little bit of frustration, a little bit of annoyance, maybe even a tad bit of anger, and this all adds up to stress. Our home is often a sanctuary from the disruption that we feel at work. And yet today, that's not possible because work is at home and they're both being disrupted at the same time. Another part of the feelings we have in this time is just how intensely both our personal and our professional lives are impacted. We usually come home to have sanctuary from our professional disruption. However, now we're at home, working, and being with those we love who we're concerned about. There's no escaping the stress right now. So given that you're in this state of stress, perfectly normal, by the way, what do you do to restore focus? One of the most important things to remember is you're still you. All of your strengths, all of your skills, all of your resources, all of your capability is still in you. You are not the problem. What is available to you is to set your environment up just a little bit differently. First, let's start with something super simple, your vocabulary. Even the use of the term remote helps to have us feel separated. And human beings require a sense of belonging. And truthfully, have your colleagues changed? Have your customers changed? No, they're exactly the same. You are perhaps not physically co-located with them. That's an alternative to remote. What I like to say instead is we're working virtually, which means I can be anywhere in the world, anytime, any day, any moment, and deeply connected with anyone I choose. So just notice what happens for you when you shift your vocabulary from saying you're working remotely to saying we're connecting virtually. You may be noticing with our first 2 ideas that while stress is going to be in your environment, you have a bit more choice about how much you let it in. Yes, of course, when your 3-year-old interrupts your meeting because they're not at preschool, they're actually sitting 10 feet from you, it can start to raise anxiety. What will my colleagues think? Remember, they're in the same boat with you. And to allow your humanity. And if you slow down a little bit to go fast, take some time to use your excellent skills at setting up some boundaries. Get with your partner and identify who has a meeting from 12 to 1 and who doesn't have a meeting from 12 to 1. How will we manage disruption and interruptions in our day? And take a moment to think about your schedule. Have you found yourself back to back from 6 to 6? Who created that schedule in the first place? You have really good tools for knowing how to manage your own productive rhythm. It's no different when you're at home managing your calendar than it is when you're at the office. And so these are 2 places of discipline and choice that you absolutely have in your bones. They apply here too in the virtual environment. I notice for myself, having been working virtually for a very long time, that when I'm under stress, I have a tendency to think if it's to be, it's up to me. So I want to share with you 3 simple questions that fuel my power of choice. See if this could give you a way to manage some of the stress you might be feeling of being all alone, because you're not. The first question is this thing I'm about to go do mine to do? If my answer is no or maybe, I'm going to ask the next question, who on my team might this be useful for and they would find fulfilling? And then one more question, which is about prioritization. By when does this thing need to happen to be fulfilled in order to move something forward? These three simple questions help me keep from being on the hamster wheel, task after task after task. And remember, I am connected virtually to everybody I've always been connected with when I was in the brick and mortar. And they're hungry too for that opportunity to team and collaborate. And then there's one more thing I want you to think about, which is when you are wondering, will I ever make it through? Pick up the phone and call one of your colleagues. And remember to celebrate what is working and the contributions you're making despite all the disruption and stress. Both of these things work to calm you down and give you access to rational, feasible, realistic thinking and making better decisions on how to bring your best self every moment. It was my intent to give you a little bit of relief with these three ideas I've just shared. If you want some more, please go see a YouTube video on control to agility, a very common dilemma of leading. And you might think about some developmental coaching and the True Tilt profile, which you can learn more about at our website, inviteCHANGE.com.